Hey, this is Nathan with Fire for Our Family, and I wanted to read you something from this What Does the Bible Say About book. It's really good, and there's a whole section about money in here, and I was reading this the other day, and it really stood out to me. So you've heard the verse a lot from 1 Timothy, and I'll read this first, that says, "For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, for which some have strayed from the faith in their greediness and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." And I was reading that, and I think that it's taken out of context a lot, because it does say, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. And I wanted to read this out of this book, and it says, Paul ridicules the idea that God is in the business of dispensing material gain in exchange for spiritual cooperation. And that launches him into a discussion of money that modern believers would do well to study carefully, given the emphasis on money in our culture. And Paul warns us very strongly against the love of money in 1 Timothy 6:10, but let's make sure to interpret his words correctly. He does not say that money itself is evil, neither does he say that money is the fundamental root of evil, or that money lies at the root of every evil. Rather, the love of money is something inside people, not money itself, can be a root, but not the only root of all kinds of evil, but not all evil. It says, but don't let those qualifications soften the blow. People who love money are vulnerable to all kinds of evil, and the worst of which, Paul points out, is straying from the faith. And given this danger, believers should avoid greed. And so I was thinking about that, and the root of evil, this money that is the root. I think there's on both sides of the equation. You can, if you're struggling under crippling debt, then that want to pay back the debt is not bad. Like you're striving for maybe extra money to pay off the debt. That's different from loving money. And I remember being under a lot of debts, like $30,000, $40,000 worth of credit card debt, and just wanting more than anything to be able to earn a little bit more money to be able to pay off this debt. And it was so debilitating that but then I read this and I'm like, no, I really don't need to be wanting that money. But then again, I read this verse and I'm like, oh, is that the root of all evil? Well, yeah, being under debt is definitely going to be a crippling factor. And it goes on to say that being slave to money is just as worse as letting money be the ultimate goal in your life. And so while you're in debt, make sure that you're focused, like laser focused on paying off that debt. And that's not love of money. That is righting the wrongs that you've done to yourself. That is the prison of money that you are now a slave to, and you do everything in your power to be laser focused on making sure that you pay off all of that debt and to get into financial freedom. Once that happens, then you start teetering onto the other side, where we're going to talk about wealth. And then if you let wealth be that ultimate goal in your life, then that starts getting into the greediness part of wealth, where you want to be financially free. And I kind of struggle with this a little bit, because we want to go towards this FIRE type movement, find our financial independence, and build wealth within our family. But I want to make sure that is not greedy kind of wealth, where we just want to have all the money and then let the money be the security blanket that is protecting us from everything else. No, that's not it. I think the object and the goal for financial freedom is to be able to be generous. And our pastor actually talked about that this morning during service, is just being able to be generous and serve others. And you can't do that from a point of financial burden. If you're buried under a mountain of debt, then it debilitates you from being able to financially be generous to other people. And I just wanted to share that with you today. I hope that speaks to you. If you got anything out of this, leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Thanks.